Good morning children. Today's our topic is about different social groups participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, last class we discussed about the civil disobedience movement. Today we will discuss which are the social groups participated in the civil disobedience movement. Let us go to our topic. Okay. Then children, the important social groups participated in the civil disobedience movements are rich peasants, okay, poor peasants, big business group, big business class, okay, then industrial workers and women. These are the main social groups participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, one by one we will discuss. Okay, first one, why rich peasants became the part of civil disobedience movement. Okay, in the countryside, rich peasants community such as Patidars of Gujarat, and Jats of Uttar Pradesh, they actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, communities like Patidars of Gujarat and Jats of Uttar Pradesh, they actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, you know children, these peasants community, rich peasants community, they mainly produced commercial crops. Okay, what is commercial crops? Crops mainly cultivated for selling purpose or commercial purpose. Okay, so they produced commercial crops. You know children, last class we studied about Great Depression. 1926 onwards, Great Depression occurred in India. Okay, and it continued till 1930. Clear? So you know when the Great Depression continued, this peasants community, rich peasants community, they were unable to pay the revenue. Okay, and they demanded the British government for the reduction of revenue, but they refused. So they became the part of civil disobedience movement. Clear children? They organized their communities and they participated many boycotting programs and they actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. Clear? But you know children, in between Gandhiji called of civil disobedience movement, that also we discussed. Movement became violent, so Gandhiji called of civil disobedience movement. So when Gandhiji called of civil disobedience movement, without revising the revenue rate, these rich peasants, they became angry. So when Gandhiji restarted this civil disobedience movement, many of the peasants community, they were not ready to participate in the movement. Okay, clear children? Can we go to next social group? Okay, next social group participated in civil disobedience movement, they were poor peasants. Okay, poor peasant. For them, revenue reduction is not their problem. Okay, revenue reduction was not their problem. You know, most of the poor peasants, they were tenants. Okay, they worked in a small lands that are under the big landlords or rich peasants. And instead of cultivating their land, these peasants, they want to give rent. Okay, so you know children, when this Great Depression continued, these peasants, they were unable to pay the rent. So their main demand was unpaid rent to be paid by their or remitted by their landlords. So they started many non-rent campaign. Okay, so when they started this type of non-rent campaign, many landlords and big peasants, they were upset. But you know children, International Congress not supported the non-rent campaign started by these poor peasants. Okay, International Congress didn't support this non-rent campaign started by the peasants. Okay, so these poor peasants, so the relationship between Indian National Congress and the members of Indian National Congress and these poor peasants, that remain uncertain. I think you got, children. Okay, next we will look how big business group became the part of civil disobedience movement. Okay, why this group became the part of civil disobedience movement. Okay, during the First World War, when it happened? 1914. Okay, when the First World War, during the First World War, this big business group, they earned huge profit. Okay, they earned huge profit and they became powerful. They became powerful. Okay, you know, children, why during the First World War time they earned huge profit? You know, during the time before First World War, that British made goods that is largely imported to India. Okay, from England, large scale import is there. Okay, British made cloth, then different type of goods, everything that they were largely imported to India. Okay, so during the time of war, they were busy with war production. In England, they were busy with war production. So import from England, that is reduced. So it is a good time or better time for the Indian business class to earn huge profit. So during the time of First World War, they earned huge profit and they became powerful. Okay, so after the First World War also, they want to expand, they want to maintain this profit. So they opposed the colonial restriction on Indian economy and they were protested that large scale import from England. Okay, for that purpose they became the part of civil disobedience movement. Clear, children? And they given many financial assistance to the they given financial assistance to civil disobedience movement and they actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay. So they actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. They became the part of, they boycotted British made items. They didn't buy and sell the British made items and they participated in many Protestant campaigns, etc. Clear, children? So first I told no, they actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. But later what happened? You know, children, we discussed now after round table conference, Gandhiji returned from London. Okay, Gandhiji returned to India with great disappointment. Okay, so what happened? This business class now understood that they can't expand their trade or they can't expand their business freely without colonial restriction. So in many areas, this big business group, they started militant activities. Okay, and during that time, you know, children, the new young leaders within the Congress, they adopted the idea of socialism also. Okay, so socialism also gradually developed in India. So socialist view, you know, socialism is totally against this type of big business group. So because of all these reasons, these people started some militant activities. Clear? I think you got an idea why the big business class became the part of civil disobedience movement. Okay, and I told no, children, this big business group, they formed two organizations for. Okay, in 1920, they formed Indian Industrial and Commercial Congress. In 1920, they formed Indian Industrial and Commercial Congress. Indian Industrial and Commercial Congress. Commercial Congress. And in 1927, they formed FICCI, Federation of the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Okay, 1927, they formed FICCI, Federation of the Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So they formed these two organizations for protecting their interest. Okay, anyway, children, this industrial group, big business group, they were led by two important leaders. Okay, Purushottam Das, Thakur Das. Purushottam Das Okay, mainly two leaders called Purushottam Das, Thakur Das. Purushottam Das, Thakur Das and J.D. Birla. J.D. Birla. These are the two important leaders among this big business group. Okay children, I think you got an idea. Clear? Can we go to our next social group? Okay. Now we will discuss why industrial working class or the industrial workers, why they became the part of civil disobedience movement. Okay children. Most of the industrial workers, they were not actively participated in the civil disobedience movement except Nagpur region. Okay, why you know children? Because this international congress that is more close with the big business group. Okay, they maintained a close relation with the big business group. So this working class, they maintained distance. Clear? Okay, you know children, these industrial workers, I told not all the workers, not some workers participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, in some area workers participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, they adopted some Gandhian programs such as boycott. Okay, boycott of foreign goods, and they demanded for the improvement of wages, improving the working condition, and they started their own movement in some area. Okay, for example, you know children, in 1930, railway workers, many area the people, these workers started strike. In 1930, railway workers they started strikes. Okay. In 1932, dock workers, they also started strike. Okay, so these are the some strikes that are held by these workers. Okay, industrial workers, and you know children, in 1930 many thousands of the workers, okay, thousands of workers from the Chota Nagpur tin mining area, in these workers they wore Gandhi's cap and they participated in many Protestant activities such as rallies, boycott programs, etc. Okay, in this way some workers became the part of civil disobedience movement. Anyway, all the workers not participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, already we discussed because International Congress was not ready to include their demand in the movement. Okay, they feared that sometime it will alienate the big business class. So they were not ready to include the demand of working class industrial workers. So many workers not became the part of civil disobedience movement. Okay, got children? Can we go to our next topic? Okay, now we will look how women became the part of civil disobedience movement. Okay, one of the important feature of civil disobedience movement, that is the active participation of women. Clear children? Women, all the women, when Gandhiji called salt march, children, many women, they left out from their home. Okay, they manufactured salt, they participated in boycott programs in many areas, they boycotted British made items. Okay, they picketed liquor shops. In that way, they actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, many went to jail, and most of these women, okay, in urban area, they were from upper caste families. Okay, and in the rural area, they were from rich peasants household. Clear children? So they actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, from this didn't mean that children, the position of women improved that time. Okay, no improvement any improvement. Okay, there is no improvement for women position during that time. Okay, International Congress not agreed to give any political representation for women for long period. Okay, for long time, and Gandhiji also told the women to become good wives and good mothers and look after their family. Anyway, they participated in the civil disobedience movement. Only their symbolic part, only it was allowed. Okay, their symbolic presence, that only allowed. No other any political or any improvement happened to the condition of women during that time. Okay, so I think children, it is one of the most important feature, participation, active participation of women. I think children, you got. Okay, so these are the different social groups participated in civil disobedience movement. Okay, we discussed in non-cooperation movement also different social groups participated, and together don't be confused. Okay, rich peasants, poor peasants, big business class and industrial workers and women. These are the main social groups participated in civil disobedience movement. Clear? Okay, now we will go to our next topic. What are the limitations of civil disobedience movement? Limitations of civil disobedience movement. Mainly children, two limitations are there for civil disobedience movement. First one, nations untouchable caste, they didn't participate or they not actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, nations untouchable caste. Okay, they didn't actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, another thing children, another that Muslim organization, some Muslim leaders or Muslim organization were lukewarm. Okay, they were lukewarm to their response to the civil disobedience movement. These are the two reasons why civil disobedience became failure, or these are the two limitations, not failure children, these are the two limitations of civil disobedience movement. Nations untouchable caste and some Muslim organization, they not actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. They had their own reason why they didn't participate in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, now we will discuss why, one by one we will discuss. Okay, first we will discuss why untouchable caste, why nations untouchable caste not became the part of civil disobedience movement. Okay, we know children, India untouchability, it is a caste system that practiced in India. Okay, you know upper caste and lower caste discrimination and many right for this lower caste that denied. Okay, these lower caste people, they were known as untouchables or Dalit. Okay, we are not discussing about present condition children. Okay, now untouchability is banned as per the law. Okay, under article 17, untouchability is banned. Okay, if practicing untouchability, that is punishable now. We are speaking about before independence or before forming our constitution. Clear? So, untouchability that is practiced in India. Okay. So, I already told children, International Congress members, they were not ready to include their demand or their problem, solving their problem. These untouchable peoples or Dalits problem, they were not ready to include in the movement. Okay. So, they did not become the part of civil disobedience movement. Anyway, you know children, Gandhiji totally against untouchability. Okay, Gandhiji didn't support untouchability and he declared that India wouldn't get Swaraj for 100 years if untouchability is not abolished. Okay, and he was totally against untouchability and he called these untouchables as Harijan. Okay, children of God. Children of God. I think you got children. Okay, and he led many satyagraha for these people, you know, and these untouchable people or these lower caste people, they were not allowed to enter into the temple. Okay, they can't enter into the temple, they can't use public places such as road, schools, then public tap or public well, like that public places they not allowed to use. So, Gandhiji led many satyagraha for temple entry to these lower caste or Dalit people. Okay, I think you got children. Okay, for example, many satyagrahas held in Kerala and different part of India. Okay, so Vaikam Satyagraha, Guruvayur Satyagraha. These are some example for such type of satyagrahas. Okay, and Gandhi given his moral support to all these type of satyagrahas. Okay, and he did many satyagraha for assessing the people, this type of public places. Okay, and Gandhiji himself cleaned the toilet and he dignified the work of a bangi or sweeper. According to Gandhi, every work have its own dignity. So he cleaned himself the toilet and dignified the work of a bangi or sweeper. Okay, and he asked upper caste people to remove this type of feelings. Okay, if this type of upper caste and lower caste feeling, remove it, and untouchability, he told it was a sin, or you remove this type of feeling. He asked it to the upper caste people also. Okay, anyway children, you know these people faced a lot of problem. Untouchability became, or casteism became rigid in India. Okay, so many Dalit leaders emerged among this group, and they know political representation, that was only solution for their problem. Okay, so they demanded reserved seats in educational institutions for Dalit, and they demanded separate electorate for Dalit people. If they will get any political representation, then only their problem will solve. So they understood that. Okay, among them an important leader was there. You know who is that person? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, one of the most important leader among Dalit. Okay, children, you know he was born in a Mahar caste family in Maharashtra. Okay, it is one of the Dalit family, and he born in that family. No, because of that he faced a lot of discrimination, untouchability. Even his childhood, even he studied in school itself, he faced a lot of discrimination, untouchability, like that problem he faced, and every day he faced this type of problem. Then he understood that, he realized when he will become a young man, or when he became an active person, he will find a solution, that untouchability that faced by his own community. Okay, in childhood itself he took a pledge, he will remove this type of untouchability from India, and he will solve this problem that faced by his own caste. Okay, so he actively became the part of Indian freedom movement also, that you know children, and he formed a organization for depressed class, that is known as depressed class, means children Dalit. Depressed class, that is known as Depressed Class Association. Okay. 1930 he formed Depressed Class Association. Okay, so when Depressed Class Association was formed, 1930 Ambedkar formed Depressed Class Association. Okay, you know children, after second round table conference he clashed with Gandhi. Okay, and he demanded separate electorate for Dalit. These depressed classes, he demanded separate electorate, and the Britishers also considered his demand. Britishers also ready to accept his demand. Anyway, he demanded, but Gandhiji, he was totally against this Ambedkar's demand, and he started a fast unto death. And Gandhiji argued that this separate electorate, it will lead to disintegration of the country, or sometime it will lead to disunity among the people. So Gandhiji started a fast unto death. Anyway, after that Ambedkar agreed his position, and it led to the signing of a pact, that is known as Pune Pact. Okay, Pune Pact. Okay, this pact was signed in 1932, September 1932. Gandhiji and Ambedkar signed a pact, that is known as Pune Pact, 1932 September. Okay children, as per this Pune Pact, now these people Dalit people, they got separate electorate. Okay, they got separate or reserved seats in legislative, provincial legislative and central legislative council. But they will be elected in the general election, or they will be elected in the general electorate. Okay, so I think children you understood what is Pune Pact. Clear? Okay, can we go to our next topic? Okay, so this whole reason I told no, because of all these reason the nation's untouchable caste, they did not became the part of civil disobedience movement. Okay, now we will look why the Muslims organization, why they were lukewarm, why their response lukewarm. Okay, now we will look at Muslim organization. In the case of Muslim organization. Okay, you know children, after the we discussed non-cooperation and Khilafat movement. After the failure of non-cooperation movement and Khilafat movement, Muslims they alienated from Indian National Congress. Okay, in some area the relation between Hindus and Muslims became worse. Okay, and some area communal rights also started in between Hindus and Muslims. Okay, and many times International Congress and Muslim League tried to compromise. Okay, during this time one of the leader of Indian Muslim League called Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Okay, one of the leader Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Okay, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he demanded separate electorate for Muslims. He demanded separate electorate for Muslims and reserved seats in Muslim dominated area such as Punjab and Bengal. Okay, so this Muhammad Ali Jinnah demanded separate electorate and reserved seats in Muslim dominated areas such as Bengal and Punjab. Okay, so an all-party conference that was decided in 1928. An all-party conference for discussing this matter. An all-party conference was decided on 1928. But in this conference, one of the leader of Hindu Mahasabha, one of the leader of Hindu Mahasabha, you know children, that person M.R. Jaikar. M.R. Jaikar. He was not ready to compromise. Okay, he was not ready to compromise. So, their demand that is not discussed in that conference. So, when the Gandhiji started, after this only Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement. No, when Gandhiji started this civil disobedience movement, Muslim organization and some Muslim leaders, they were not actively participated in the civil disobedience movement. Okay, and some of the leaders among Muslims and some of the intellectual among Muslims, they feared that these Muslim, they were minority. Okay, and their culture, their identity sometimes subjugated by the Hindu majority. Okay, so children, that you know anyway, I told first they demanded separate electorate, later their demand changed into separate country. Okay, that led to the formation of Pakistan. Okay, anyway, I think you got an idea about today's topic. Today we mainly discussed different social groups participated in civil disobedience movement and what are the limitations of civil disobedience movement. I think children you got an idea. Okay, so once again tell me which are the dates today we discussed. The dates 1930 Depressed Class Association, 1930 Depressed Class Association, 1932 Pune Pact. Okay, these are the 2 years today we discussed. Which are the date last class we discussed? 1928 Salman Commission, 1929 Purna Swaraj, 1930 Civil Disobedience Movement. Okay, 1931 Gandhi Irving pact. Okay, I think children today whatever we discussed you got an idea. Okay, then read textbook. Okay, then you will get it will be clear to you. Okay, then we will meet in the next class. Bye.